It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today I am fulfilling my promise of talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So, this also comes with the announcement that I'll be reviewing every game that I play from now on. Just because I feel like it's fair. I put a lot of time into playing, so I might as well talk about it. So, obviously, this game came out a long time ago in 2007. It's 2023, right? So, yeah, 16 years. Wow. But yeah, so I don't want any comments of, oh, you missed the mark, blah, blah, blah. No, I beat this game way back in 2011 or whatever when I first originally got into Call of Duty. And I just felt like I should replay it to, get, like, the experience again. So yeah, we're going to talk about the original Modern Warfare. So I didn't do multiplayer for obvious reasons because we don't have like that many servers anymore, except for if you're on Xbox. But as you can see here, I have PlayStation. So we don't get the new updated servers, which is fine because I only want to play Warzone really for online. But yeah, so we're talking about the story and then the gameplay mechanics just because the gameplay mechanics evolve over time, obviously. So let's go ahead and get into the story. So this takes place in modern day 2007, so 15 years ago, and it follows two stories, the American story and the SAS story. So SAS is British Forces. You play as Soap, who is now a iconic Call of Duty character. This is him as a private where he just joins Price's team. So you have the three main guys in that group being you as Soap, no personality, no lines. Price, who is also a now iconic character, and a great leader character in the game. Then you also have Gaz, who is kind of like a proto form of Ghost, who is more famous than Gaz in my opinion. He's kind of like the right-hand man. And then you get the US story. You play as a character that I don't even remember the name of, which is an issue for early Call of Duties, is you do kind of just play as a character. You don't have voice lines, nothing like that, until Black Ops. So your characters are not really remembered that well. But you also have Sergeant Griggs on your team, who is like the lone survivor of your team after a major plot event. And then he joins SAS in a joint operations for the third act of the game. So basically what happens is, obviously there's a war going on in the Middle East for the US. That's how the Marines are basically helping fight, and SAS is just doing secret missions. One is you're taking out a boat. That's your first mission basically. And then you're following leads on basically the head of this military movement in the Middle East. So that character ended up killing the Iranian president, thus kind of taking over Iran and plunging it into a deeper war. So you have to take leads of the shipments, then Russia is apparently backing them, so you have to find your inside Russian guy, who I believe his name was Kramenov. No, it was Nikolai. I'm sorry, Kramenov was the main villain. But yeah, so you find Nikolai, which I thought was funny because I was thinking Nikolai from Zombies. But yeah, and you take Nikolai, and then so on and so forth, and then a nuke is dropped. During the dropping of the nuke, the SAS takes out the terrorist, the head of the terrorist group, and find out that this is all Kramenov. his doing, who is like a Russian weapons dealer, and he was a target in the 90s for Price when he was just a lieutenant. Price kind of messed up the shot and just shot off his arm, leaving Kramanov to survive. He also was with his CO at the time, who was injured in the battle. I don't remember if he survived or not. But yeah, so then after that, the joint operations happen, where you're trying to find connections to Kamarov. You find his son. His son ends his own life. So that is framed as the fault of the U.S., so Kramanov is trying to move forces. He launches more missiles. In that, you break into the missile control room and stop the missiles from hitting their targets, and then are ambushed by Russian forces. Basically, an oil tanker explodes, you're all knocked out. Kamarov shows up, kills Gaz. Price is injured. Griggs is then killed. You are injured as well. Price pushes over a gun, you shoot Kamarov. End of story. It seems to be that you're the only survivor. This game's been out for 15 years, and like I said, I've played from Call of Duty 3 all the way up to, I believe it was Black Ops 2 at the time. Or no, Ghosts. I played that, so obviously we know Price survives, but in the story's perspective, he did die, we believe, because he's getting CPR done to him as you're getting airlifted out. And then, after credits roll, there's a post-credits level I did not know about. This was my first time ever playing it. It was a raid on a airplane where you had to save a president and jump out of the airplane. You had to do it in 3 minutes, and then you had to do basically a precision shot, one of the hardest shots in the game, in my opinion. So, the story is a very good story, but let's talk about gameplay. So, I do want to kind of not overly critique it due to it being a game from 2007, but it is whiplash switching between this and Warzone every day. I have gotten a squad together in Warzone that we've been playing basically every night, but off that I've been playing Modern Warfare, and I'm talking, by the way, not the remastered version. I don't know if the remastered version improved on it, but this is my copy of Modern Warfare that I played. The original PS3 Greatest Hits Modern Warfare. So maybe the remastered version that came with Infinite Warfare was better. I don't know. But this one was very clunky. When you're running in modern games, pun intended, not intended, you feel like you're running. Your gun's moving around, you're kind of vibrating on the controller, you can kind of see the camera going like this. In this game, it feels like you're on a plane, and when you run, you just slide. Speaking of, there is no dolphin diving or sliding in this game. I actually made myself laugh so hard in the first level, where I was running and I saw gunfire, so I tried to slide, and I went from running to crouching and not moving, which is very funny. The HUD in this game, though, is very jarring, I guess is the best way to see. So you don't have a bullet count for what is in the chamber. It is a picture of how many bullets you have, which is easy when it's something like a shotgun or a sniper rifle. But if it's a SMG, LMG, AR, any of those things, it's hard to keep track of what your bullets are. It does show what your carrying capacity is, so if you have, let's just say a sniper, and it'll show that you're carrying 35 extra rounds, but that doesn't mean anything when you're carrying something that has a lot more ammo, which you probably will during this game. Also with this game, it is kind of weird movement. Like I said, you're not sliding or dolphin diving, and when you run, it feels like you're on a plane. But if you are like in the proximity of a grenade or something, it feels, at least it did for me, it feels complicated to move out of the way. I think it's more of a spatial awareness issue, because there are times too where it feels like enemies come out of nowhere. You run into a building that you feel like you just cleared, you run in, dead. So yeah, there's issues like that. Also, this had probably the worst low health screen that I played in recent history, where the blood makes the fight barely visible. So basically, if you're in low health and you don't get to really good cover immediately, you are going to die, because you don't know what's going on around you. Also with that, the tacticals I do feel are a little overpowered compared to how they are now, to the point where you will blind yourself if you have it in your periphery, and stuff like that. So like, for example, in No Fighting in the War Room, there were these two corridors that I had to get through. I figured I'd throw a flash in there so I can like distract enemies and then get through there. I threw the flash, I went like this, and because I went like this and it was still right here, I blinded myself. So yeah, it was issues like that that kind of bummed it for me, but like I said, I don't want to hold it against it, because this was basically, even though there's 3 beforehand, this was basically the modern Call of Duty, or the precursor to the modern Call of Duty. So I don't want to hit it too much, but it does feel whiplashy when switching between a old COD game and a modern COD game. I do also want to say the voice lines on this being delivered, not only is the sound mixed weird, but sometimes it doesn't feel well delivered on the lines. I don't think that was like the priority. I think this is probably also where Call of Duty started getting into multiplayer. They did do a good story on this, but I do think that they were mainly focusing for multiplayer for this. But yeah, still, the story I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. The characters I'm going to give a 8 out of 10. Like I said, you don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the character that I was playing as on the US, and also there's some side characters that just kind of get thrown in that you think are just fodder, but then show up in like multiple levels and you still don't remember their name. And that is one more thing that reminds me, one more thing I kind of wanted to add on, which is friendly fire in this is very weird. There's times where you'll shoot a character that's on your side and it will immediately tell you friendly fire is not tolerated, and it makes you restart. But then there's some where you will unload your ammo on and kill, and it does nothing. There was like, actually, I was goofing off one night and I was low on ammo, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this guy's gun, and I shot him down, took his gun, no repercussions. So it was, friendly fire was weird on this. But yeah, so the graphics, I'll go back to that, sorry. Graphics, I give a 7 out of 10. I know PlayStation 3 graphics, but that feels so weird to say because when I got a PlayStation 3, that was top of the line. But yeah, there's still some character models that looked very weird. Especially enemy character models get very muddled with your own character models sometimes. And then for gameplay in general, I am going to give also a 7 out of 10, making this game an 8 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. I am going to take a break from COD, so the next game review that we're going to be doing is put away, actually. It's Kakarot. I've owned the game for a while and I just never got around to playing it, so that's going to be in the next game review. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's That Nerd Ryan.